So I just dropped Leo, my 15-year-old son, off at school, and as is reasonably typical, he spent a good 3/4 of the journey sat there on his phone watching YouTube videos. So if we're looking to make Formula One more attractive to a younger audience, we're looking for the next generation of Formula One fans who are going to watch our sport well into the future, because the demographic of our current Formula One TV viewership and fans of the sport is just getting older and older and older. How do we make it more attractive to the youth of today? We're already starting to see some changes to that effect, but what else can we do to make the sport more attractive to the next generation of fans? You know, Leo loves fast cars, he loves technology, he's a technology geek, he loves pushing equipment to its extreme limits. Can't think where on earth he gets all that from. Leo is the kind of person that Formula One should be attracting as its next generation of Formula One fans. Leo's not interested in Formula One, you know, and that's coming from someone whose dad has worked in the sport forever. Actually, maybe that's why he's not into Formula One. But he's the kind of person that we should be attracting to the sport. The future generation of fans of Formula One should be this current crop of teenagers. Well, one of the other things that Leo and his mates are really heavily into is gaming. Now, we saw a huge explosion in F1 or racing gaming over the course of 2017. Formula One itself got heavily involved with its esports championship, and that is only going to increase. And it's absolutely the right platform for dragging an audience across from one genre, i.e. esports or e-racing, sim racing, whatever it is you want to term it, into the real life motorsport. So how do we increase that? How do we make it even more prominent? How do we grab the attention of these kids who are playing games in their bedrooms and get them out to a racetrack, or get them tuning in to a race on television? The new group set up by Formula One, headed up by Ross Brawn and beneath him former technical director Pat Simmons, who are looking at the future sporting and technical regs of Formula One, are using esports or sim racing as a means to test out different regulations, different methods of going Formula One racing in the future. And what I mean by that is that, you know, I spoke to Pat Simmons on this recently. They are using professional sim racers to try out, for example, different grid formations in Formula One. So we've always used in Formula One for a long, long time now a grid that goes 2 by 2 by 2 in a staggered formation. Well, Pat and his team now are looking at trying different types of layout, which might go 3 cars across, 4 cars across. Instead of having a staggered formation on the grid, should we have cars that are level with each other and in parallel lines? And if we do that, what will happen? And what they do is they run that simulation through sim racing over and over again, 100 times, 200 times, the race start and then maybe the first lap of the race, and just see what happens. And that's, you know, that's brilliant. I think that's a fascinating area of development that Formula One is getting into, and I think is invaluable in what we do, because you can't run those simulations in real life. It's just impossible, not that quickly and not that many times. But what that is doing is tapping into an already highly professional, highly skilled set of sim racers. These are not kids that are playing on a PlayStation in their bedroom. These are kids, you know, like I used to be, where you just bounce off each other going down into the first corner. These are guys who take this very, very seriously and do this professionally as a living, many of them. So that's all great. But how do we get the kids who are playing PlayStation in their bedrooms to then switch over and become interested in the real Formula One? If you think about football, it's obviously completely different. Most kids will get the opportunity to at least try to play football as they grow up, whether it's at home or through school. Motor racing, of course, does not have that. To give motor racing a try, to get involved in that, you either need to be from a sort of elite background and quite probably to have a set of parents who push you in that direction, because it's not something you stumble across. Therefore, should we be, like football, trying to attract audience off the back of this huge global phenomenon that is world football? Or should we be, and perhaps we are, this is a question more than a statement, should we be attracting people to real life Formula One off the back of this, what is actually a pretty large gaming community? And if we are going to do that, how do we do it? once we have piqued the interest of a new set of fans, we've got to have a product which they love to watch and that they're going to love to keep coming back to watch. Now, the product for us, of course, at the heart of Formula One is the racing. And there are lots of discussions going on, pretty well publicised discussions about how we improve the racing, spice it up, make it more entertaining and so on. But whatever our product ends up being, there are only two real ways that fans can consume that. Either they go to a racetrack and watch the event live, and we know that that is prohibitively that's too expensive for most people. And the other way is that you watch a broadcast of that event being sent live from the racetrack directly into your home or wherever it is, the place that you want to watch it. And that is by far the biggest global audience that we have. Just had to pop into Sky for a very quick meeting. Bumped into this guy. Formula E has been a really interesting test case in this area. Whilst they're not trying to adapt their audience or attract a newer one to work alongside the existing audience, they're building one from scratch, which is a different proposition, but some of the things they've done have been really interesting and quite well received. Formula E starts their races at a few minutes past the top of the hour, so that broadcasters can join at 4 o'clock local time, have a couple of minutes just to set up the race and then get straight into the action. That action lasts for around about 50 minutes. There's a 10-minute podium ceremony, which means the whole event can be packaged into a 1-hour TV slot. So do we need to make Formula One events or Formula One races, or certainly the way that we package Formula One, shorter? Some people don't want to watch the entire event. They're actually quite happy with a short highlights package. But they don't want to be told how long that highlights package is going to be. They don't want that to be a half-hour or an hour-long show. They might want to watch it on their mobile phone. And this is, again, something that Formula E has done quite successfully, is to produce a number of pretty immediate, very, very quick reaction highlights packages, which people can view across social media and digital platforms. That could be the race in 5 minutes. It could be the race in 10 minutes. It could be the race in 50 minutes. You know, the whole thing, half of it, whatever you want, there is an option for you to consume it in that way. Do we need to start tailoring the various edits, the various types of content, the various packages we can offer to this newer audience? It doesn't alienate the existing audience, but it gives them another option. And the new generation of content viewers in any sport or any media, they want options. Once we've got people interested enough to start watching Formula One, you know, what exactly do we offer them? Do the younger generation just want to watch, or do they want to interact? Do they want to interact with the drivers and with the teams? Do they want to interact in the race itself through the virtual world or through gaming? Is just sitting there having a one-way experience of Formula One enough anymore? Should we be allowing people to interact in the race through technologies like virtual, mixed or augmented reality? These are all things that are in their relative influence. These are all things that are in their in their relative infancy, and yet have huge potential if we manage to get it right. And Formula One could be a really interesting platform to do that. It's a sport that should be at the forefront of all technology. So should we be changing Formula One? Should we be changing the way that Formula One looks, the way that it's packaged, the way that it's received, the way that it's consumed? Should we be looking for new viewers? And if we should, how should we be looking for them? Who should we be looking for? How do we get people to come across from one sport to another, from one genre, i.e. gaming for example, to another? How do we get people to watch us on their phones when they want to watch them? And when we've done all that, how do we get them to pay for it? How do we get all that to monetize itself to still bring in the revenue we need to keep Formula One ticking over? I don't know the answers. I'm hoping you're going to help me. Please pop comments in the box below. Let me know what you think. I've asked a lot of questions in this vlog. I'd really love it if you could give me some of those answers. If we get some good ones, I will revisit this in another video and we will discuss further. Right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share it around. Tell your mates. Let's get this discussion going. See you next time.